What's up, FlickPop fam? Get ready for a rapid-fire rundown of the biggest stories making headlines today. First up, President Donald Trump is making some serious claims about crime in Memphis, Tennessee, suggesting his interventions are the only reason things are looking up. But is it really working, or is this just the start of a bigger federal push? We're diving deep into the claims and the controversy. Next, we're looking at the intense political fallout following the tragic killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. President Trump is pointing fingers directly at the radical left, escalating his rhetoric and vowing to find those responsible. But is this a fair assessment, or is it a dangerous political play? We'll break down Trump's strong words and the reactions from all sides. Then, we're shifting gears to a high-stakes legal battle where a federal judge is calling out the Trump administration for what looks like an end run around court orders in a complex deportation case. Immigrants are being sent to new countries, raising fears of torture and death. We'll explore the judge's strong words and the ACLU's fight for justice. And finally, President Trump is proposing a drastic new strategy to end the war in Ukraine, suggesting massive new sanctions on Russia. But what's the catch? Trump says it all hinges on NATO and other nations stepping up to stop buying Russian oil. We'll unpack this bold proposal and what it could mean for global politics. Stick around for all the details, and make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on so you don't miss any of this breaking news. Trump claims FBI deployment curbs Memphis crime amidst National Guard talk. President Donald Trump is asserting that the presence of the FBI and federal officers over the past 5 months is the sole reason crime has seen a slight decrease in Memphis, Tennessee. He's even floated the idea of deploying the National Guard to further tackle what he describes as absolutely terrible crime numbers. This move comes as Memphis grapples with a high violent crime rate, reportedly the highest in the U.S. in 2024, with nearly 150 homicides already recorded this year. While Republican figures like Tennessee Governor Bill Lee and Senator Marsha Blackburn express gratitude for Trump's support and highlight past successes in other cities, local officials like Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris have voiced strong opposition, calling the potential federal intervention disappointing, anti-democratic, and violates American norms. The debate rages on about the effectiveness and legality of such federal actions, with uncertainty surrounding when, or if, National Guard troops will arrive. Stay tuned as we unpack the full story behind these federal crime-fighting claims. And next, the political firestorm ignited by Charlie Kirk's assassination. Trump escalates radical left rhetoric following Charlie Kirk's killing. In the wake of the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, President Donald Trump has intensified his attacks on the radical left, explicitly blaming them for Kirk's death and for a broader wave of political violence. Trump stated he wants the nation to heal, but immediately followed by characterizing his opponents as a radical left group of lunatics. This strong stance contrasts sharply with his past responses to violence targeting Democrats, as he has not highlighted similar incidents with the same forceful condemnation. While Trump has vowed to pursue all those involved in Kirk's assassination, including funders, he has previously been criticized for downplaying or mocking attacks on Democratic figures. This has led to a significant divide in how political violence is addressed, with Republicans vowing to pursue social media users who mocked Kirk's death, leading to firings and concerns about free speech. But the legal battles don't stop there. We've got a federal judge pushing back hard on the Trump administration's deportation tactics. And later, Trump's bold new plan for ending the war in Ukraine. Judge accuses Trump administration of end run around court orders in deportation case. A federal judge has sharply criticized the Trump administration, suggesting they are attempting to circumvent federal court orders in a controversial deportation case involving 5 African immigrants. U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan expressed concern that the administration was sending these individuals to Ghana, a country that might then deport them to nations where they could face torture or death, despite U.S. court prohibitions. The ACLU, representing the immigrants, highlighted a case where a deportee was mistakenly sent to Gambia against court orders. The administration's legal counsel argued that Ghana's pledge not to redeport them should suffice, and that U.S. courts have no jurisdiction over how other countries handle deportees. Judge Chutkan, unconvinced, demanded a detailed explanation from the government on how they intend to ensure these immigrants are not improperly sent to dangerous destinations. Will the administration comply? We'll keep you updated. And coming up, President Trump's surprising proposal for peace in Ukraine. Trump proposes sweeping Russia sanctions to end Ukraine war. President Donald Trump has laid out a bold condition for imposing significant new sanctions on Russia. All nations must agree to and implement similar measures, and crucially, they must cease all oil purchases from Russia. Trump stated on Truth Social that the continued purchase of Russian oil by some nations is shocking and significantly weakens their negotiating power. He further urged European Union countries to impose 50% to 100% tariffs on China and India for their continued oil imports from Russia, suggesting this would break China's strong influence over Moscow. U.S. Secretary of Energy Chris Wright echoed the sentiment, calling for an end to Russian energy imports to strangle Russia's ability to fund this murderous war. Trump believes these combined actions could be instrumental in ending the ongoing conflict. That's a lot to unpack, but we're just getting started. Don't go anywhere, we've got a full recap and your essential CTA coming up next. And that's a wrap on today's top stories. President Trump is making waves with claims about crime in Memphis and a tough stance on radical left rhetoric after Charlie Kirk's killing. We also saw a federal judge calling out the Trump administration's controversial deportation tactics and President Trump proposing major new sanctions on Russia to end the Ukraine war. Don't miss out on any of the crucial updates. Make sure you're subscribed to FlickPop, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below with your thoughts, and follow us on all our social channels for even more exclusive content.